Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared. My lovely wife Kara is busy, and today I am going to pick my top three Spydercos out of this pile right here. I've experienced a bunch of other Spydercos. I even have the Spyderco Yo Jumbo, thanks to Shadowman, but I did loan that out to Mike Emler. Also, check it out. I got my cage, my titanium cage, and scales for this awesome knife that was also a gift. Um, People are just so amazing in this community, and it does help because we do lots of giveaways as well, which there's actually a couple giveaways coming up here real soon, so hit the bell if you want to be a part of a giveaway. Let's get into this. So I'm just going to go through this really quick. So one, the Spyderco Smock. This is a button lock. It is a compression lock on a button. And I do love this knife. I love this knife a lot. I just took off the deep carry clip. I put it on this knife right here. I was going to put it on the Manix too, but it didn't work out because it just was not comfortable in the hand whatsoever. Anyways, I love this knife so much, but I actually just sold it. I'm about to mail it out. This knife is a very great example of a Spyderco Smock, though. Perfectly centered. The action is just amazing. Look at this action. And it is very locked up. Very, very solid. Just super fidgety, and it is a great knife, but I can't call it my favorite if I'm selling it, right? Now, that's not saying that I don't like it more than maybe some of these knives, but let's just get into it. Let's just keep going. So, next up, Kara would definitely disagree with me on this one. I like this knife, but obviously it's just too small for me. But, you know, you see I can still fidget with it a little bit, but it would be just a box cutter for me, which I'm sure it is for most people. Kara loves this little guy, but, you know, it's just not functional for me. But I still think it's awesome, though, you know. Next, I love that this is Rex 45. This is the Spyderco Manix lightweight. I love that it's Rex 45, but man, I hate that it's riveted. You can't take it apart without drilling out the rivets and putting in, you know, your own hardware. Which, if you want to see a video on that, OCD for EDC did an entire video on that. But yeah, love the knife, and I actually, I hate FRN, but I really like this knife. This knife is awesome. Spyderco's FRN is pretty awesome, but because of the rivets, got to get rid of it. Next up, well, I'm going to get rid of this Manix now because I do like my Manix more. So this one's in brass. This one's in titanium now, so I'm going to get rid of this one. Next, okay, I like this knife a lot. I really do. Like so much, but I can only pick three, and the action on this thing is just horrible. I mean, I can get it, but man, it's not easy. I like that I can close it so nicely one-handed. I love the close more than the open. But it's just a slow roller, which isn't a problem. I don't mind having slow rolling knives. So, like I said, I do like this knife an awful, awful lot. Next, the Manix 2XL. I love this knife, man. This knife, I use it at work a lot. It just works out so good, especially when you need a longer blade. This is a nice long blade, an S30V, and it cuts really good, and it's just so good in the hand. But it's also, it is a little big, even though I love big knives. So, you know, I love big knives, and I do like this one a whole lot. Maybe after I get another titanium cage for it, maybe it'd be farther up on this list. But we're gonna take it out of this one. But I really like that knife. I wouldn't sell that knife. Okay, next up. This is where it's gonna start getting a little more tougher. So, some of these knives aren't mine, but that doesn't mean I don't like them a lot. Okay, so All right, Kara really loves this knife. She carries it a lot. And I love this knife a whole lot. Love the action, love the build quality. The clip does get in the way of my hand a little bit. Like the ergos just are not great because of the clip. If the clip was different or positioned a little different, man, the ergos would be fine. I would love it. I would love to see a larger version of this. I'd also love to see this with a hollow grind, but just a larger version of this would be awesome. Like a 7.5, 8-inch knife. I think that'd be great. Yeah, I do like it, man. I love the action. It's hard for me to put this one out because I like it so much. Oh, by the way, this is the Spyderco Techno 2. Man, I really like this. And CTS XHP, I love that steel. Oh, man, this one's tough. But I guess because of the clip, man, I really like this knife. I hate to do that. Next, I got to think functional for me. And I try to think like that when I think of the knives, right? I try to think of it like as in a functional aspect. Like, what would I use it for? You know, how often would I use it? How often I would carry it? This little chaparral is so awesome. I find myself carrying this thing quite a bit. I like it. I love even the FRN on it. I like that too, which is crazy because I do not like FRN, but man, Spyderco's FRN is just great. And even though it's a backlock, I can get pretty decent action on it. I mean, not bad. You just got to put your leverage this way instead of out. So like with my middle finger flick, I'm not flicking out like that. I'm flicking actually up this way. And it works. But I'm going to have to kick it out. The little backlock, man, it's really pokey. But, man, I like this thing so much. And like I said, I've been carrying it a lot because I like it so much. Oh, I hate to do that. All right. Now, let's talk about these two. Because this is what sucks, man. I love the Spyderco Gale Bradley Advocate. The detent is so much crisper than on this one. I don't know how other people's Gale Bradleys are. Well, the Gale Bradley 2, this model. But my detent is very, very light. So it's more of a slow roller, even though I can absolutely, well, I can absolutely middle finger flick it and thumb flick it. But it is a light detent, like a very light detent. It's more of a slow roller, but it's locked up nice and solid. The one thing that bothers me is the lock bar is, you know, pretty far over, but it looks like it's not going to go any farther the way the lock geometry looks. And man, I like this knife a lot. I love both of these. Now, this is the thing. I would love to take this blade and throw it on that knife. If I could do that, then that would be the one I'd pick. I like this blade a lot. This blade is awesome. I love that it's a flipper and the detent is just so much crisper. I do like the ergos on this one far better though. I like titanium more than micarta though. And you got this choil area. I really like this knife a lot. It's got the orange peel titanium. This is a tough one for me to pick between. Man, that's a tough one. We're going to scoot over here. So, I love this knife. This knife, I'm going to have to say, it's fresh. It's a honeymoon phase. I'm absolutely going to keep this one in the group. Spyderco Shaman, got to have that because it's just such a badass knife. I love the micarta that that was sent to me, that Talica got for me. Not only that, just the strength and the build. This thing is an awesome, awesome knife. And it's super fidgety, even though it's such a beast of a knife. Gotta have that hard use Spyderco. This is kind of my new hard use Spyderco though, now that I got the tie cage. Because after watching that video of the hang test and seeing how easily they can fail with the plastic cages, whew, I had to get me a titanium cage. Now I'm not saying I would ever break a plastic cage on a Spyderco Manix. It's just, you know, I got man brains, and after seeing that video, it makes me wonder if I can stab it into a tree and then stand on it. Now I know I can. Anyways, going back to these, oh man, I'm gonna have to pick. Man, I really like this. I wish they wouldn't have discontinued that. I'm gonna pick this one. The hollow grind, the blade shape. This is like my favorite blade shape. I love that it's a hollow grind and it's a deep hollow grind. I can't deny that this is my favorite blade shape, and I love this blade shape a lot. It's so useful for what I like to do. Also though, let me say this, if I wouldn't have modified this, this would be the winner. Hands down. I don't even care about the blade shape. The liner was so hard to get to. Like, to unlock it, I cut out this right here, and it also originally had different scales. Slicey Dicey gave me these micarta scales, but yeah, if if that liner was still the same way, I'd pick this one, because this one, look at that, you got perfect access. Oh man, I like the action of this one so much. Yeah, there you guys go. These are my three, and if I did have my Yo Jumbo here, it probably would have been removed. I love it a lot, but I don't love it more than the Gale Bradley. So I gotta say that. All right, guys, love you guys. Peace.